Welcome to the Indie Horror Junkie podcast, where nightmares meet the light, shadows entwine. Tonight we dive deep into the horror scene, with Rod and Ricky in the asylum, made me living the dream. Hear the howl of the night echo in your mind, where the rebels of fright, leaving no soul behind. Movers and shakers, we've got the scoop. Filmmakers and actors, they're part of our group. Indie horror lovers, gather all around, bringing the edge, where true tales are found. With every wound that bleeds, a story to tell. Join us, laugh, where the haunted begins.
Good evening, junkies. Rod and Ricky D. Welcome to episode number 111, the last episode of the Indie Horror Junkie podcast for the year. What's going on?
Oh, I'm excited. We got a great special guest, a few new things to go over, and then we take the old Christmas, New Year's break and back fresh, and I can't wait for next year.
Yep, back at it. We'll be back and returning on January the 7th. We have a returning guest from Choke Film, the writer, director, and some of the cast and crew from that. They've got some new news on the film. They've got their DVD ready to plug and promote, and just some new news on them. So we're going to bring them back on and get into what they have going on for the new year and start the new year off right. But first, we're going to get into some Indie Horror Junkie news. And first on my list, of course, is the Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival, you guys, at MegaCon this March. Definitely show up and show out. Come hang with the work. Come check out the best of indie horror feature length films and short films. If you haven't already submitted, please do head over to Film Freeway and keep an eye out on our socials between now and the end of the year for some special flash sales on submission fees as well for that. And we have issue number 20 available, currently printed and ready to ship to you. We have the Pitchfork Retreat, which is going to be our second guest of 2026. We're going to have some of those guys on to talk about this film. They just did a big awards sweep I just saw up in New York at a film fed. So we have them along with Sarah French. She was our indie horror hottie. You guys follow these people on their Instagram page. Check out what they're doing because they're doing big things in the indie horror scene. We love promoting them. And if you guys have, head over to any of our socials and message us or ping us at indiehorrorjunkie@gmail.com. We would love to promote your film, promote you as a creative in the indie horror scene, or if you'd like to advertise with us, definitely hit us up as far as that goes. Shout out to Terror Films, always out here supporting the Junkies. We love them. If you haven't checked out their app, then we definitely want to Tarot Cards, the free virtual horror film, tarotcards.com. But as always, shout out to Terror Films. Hello, Hell House LLC, and they just picked it in for distribution. So shout out to them as well. Nothing but love for them. And if you haven't already, make sure that you head over to our YouTube page, like and subscribe, and show the Junkies some love. But without further ado, we have a very special guest tonight. He's a friend of the Junkies. You guys, he's been on the horror scene for a while. He has some really cool things going on. You might see him at our film festival. Austin Janowsky is in the house, writer, director, producer, comic artist. We've got something new to show you about him, then we're going to bring him on the show. So let's let it roll, Rod and Ricky.
Suburban living room night. Sword in the Stone plays on a small TV. Merlin sings Hidgeous Fidgetus. As books float magically through the air, a family of 3 is watching. This is Mr. and Mrs. Miller and their daughter, Debbie, 9. She eats a popcorn without taking her eyes off the screen. Mr. Miller opens the door to find paramilitary police officers.
Alan Miller, what is this about?
It's your daughter. The MPs look past Mr. Miller to Debbie.
Hey there, Austin. I forgot Lunatic Lance in the green room, so now you're welcome to the show.
Yes. Hey, guys.
What's going on? Also, of course, Lunatic Lance. Welcome to the show, the last show of the year. We're going out with a bang. Tarot cards, what's up? We're just going to make it an all friendly show. People that we know, we work with, we love, all the local gang. We're going to have some fun tonight. And Austin, we're going to talk about everything you have going on because you've had a very busy, productive, impressive year. We got to get into Stranger Things because we just showed a little bit of it. So I got to know, I have a question for you first and foremost. I want to know what it was like for you to step, into a world that already meant so much to fans. It's so established. What was that like for you being a part of really essentially the biggest show to ever exist?
Cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. It's the show has meant so much to me. I'm a beyond huge fan. As an act, we always joke amongst ourselves, like, what's your top 5 all time if you could possibly be in anything? What would they? And Stranger Things was like my first and foremost. I grew up in the 80s. I did the things. Played D&D and the comic books and going adventuring on our bikes and everything that's part of the TV series we did. So to answer your question, it was magically surreal, right? It was a long process to actually put my foot on set, but once it was there, I was so impressed, not only by the scope that I was walking into from the show standpoint, but the set and everything as a whole, and how well they ran. I mean, they were so like a well-oiled machine. It was so cool, man. It was just, from getting there and signing the papers and getting my costume, my clothes, and just boom, 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 boom. And wow. It took me a minute to actually, kind of pitch myself, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm on that great thing. Like, really, you know what I mean? Like, I've got my size, my hands, and it says it right there, and this is just really. So it was, it took me till getting off the set to really appreciate what happened on set. I tried not to make it go too fast, wanted to, appreciate everything that was going on, but they were so nice, and it was so cool, and God, just the equipment was just. I have no words. I mean, when you dream for something and you think it's never going to happen, then it does happen. What you can say is it's a blessing. I mean, I'm so thankful to just have a small part in this huge show. Being the canon in any form or fashion, was just great. And I got to tell you, I rocked the mustache. My friends' dads, that's what they had.
My dad had one like that too.
Well, that mustache has made a comeback. That's the style. I know. You guys know that, but that is a full comeback right now.
I'm gonna stick with what I got. This is.
Yeah.
I'm just letting y'all know.
Yeah, it wasn't that good of a look back in the 80s. I will say, so first of all, getting on the lot and going for my fitting, I walked in and they're getting me ready, and I look over and I see all the photos of the main cast in in one of their costume changes, like photos, like, you know what I mean, like Hopper and everything like that. And then the other side, I see all the kids, and I'm like, this is so cool. And I take it on my phone. I'm like, click. And then, like, we had 4 outfits, and of course they choose the one that has like no breathable air coming through whatsoever. It was horrible back in the 80s. Yeah. So, but yeah, and then just, I want to go back. I wish season. How about that? I'll give them a call. I'll say, guys, I think we should do that scene. What do you think?
Well, I want to know, when did you find out you were going to be on there? When did you find out you had been cast?
That's a long time to hold that information in.
Yeah, because we've all known you for a while now. You didn't anybody.
Oh yeah, when I announced finally, Lance was like, "What?"
Right.
So here's the thing, and as actors, you get these auditions. Sometimes they're a lot of pages, sometimes they're one lines. Supposed to treat them exactly the same. That's how I was taught. So I got 3 auditions for Stranger Things. One was a scientist, one was a military person, one was a dad. All one lines. And I did all 3 of them in a day. This was March of 2023. This is right after the strike ended and everything like that. So I was excited to get an audition, let alone from my absolute favorite TV show. So I did it, moved on. And then in February 2024, I was on a commercial shoot. And literally my phone rang. And I said, "Oh God, I'm so sorry." I went over and it was from my agent that said, "Oh my God, you're in the mix, Stranger Things."
Almost a year later.
No, this was February 2024 is when I was in the mix. Amy. I wasn't, nothing else had happened. So I said, "Okay, what does that mean? Hold on." So I go back. So now I'm trying to focus on my commercial. I'm not thinking about the commercial or my lines or anything at this point. And then later on, I get the phone call and I'm pinned. And it said, "Right, so March 1st.
And explain to everybody what pinned means. That's not an actor and doesn't know standard procedure.
Sure. So being in the mix is your name and your auditions being talked about for possibly being used in this production. Being pinned is also like, quote unquote, being on hold. Your photo is literally pinned to the wall in the producer's room. And they're deciding how exactly they want to use you and how you fit their world. So they said, "Right, you're pinned to March 1st. I said, "Cool. That's amazing. Okay." So March 1st comes and I don't hear anything and I'm crestfallen. And I get hold of my agent. I said, "So I didn't hear anything March 1st. Does that mean I'm let go? Let me just ask." And she goes, No. What it means is you're pinned from March 1st to December 31st.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, all that time I had.
So like 9 months, you have no idea.
No idea. Can't change my look or anything like that. Can't noticeably do much of anything. And they go, "But don't keep bugging. Don't keep asking. If you bug, it won't happen. Just hold on." Okay. June comes around and I'm itching. I mean, I want to know. So I messaged my agent. I said, "Hey, not trying to bug. Just wondering. You think? What do you think? You think it's gonna? Oh no, it's definitely gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen." And then mid-June, I got booked. I booked 2 days before I was traveling to Heroes Con because I was a guest at the comic book show. And then it's like, "Okay, we need you for a fitting." And I'm like, "I could do Friday, but I was going to Charlotte. Do you want me to go like that? I could drive back down." And it was boom, 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 boom. And then I started filming. And then I couldn't say anything to anyone for like over a year. And that sucked. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you though. I was like at the comic book show and I'm like, "I booked Stranger Things." Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But thank you for giving that insight, because a lot of people really don't know the whole backside of what, an actor goes through from the audition to the booking, and how long that there really can be, this silence, and it's just part of the job, and you have to, and also, like you said, you do the audition and forget about it. You can't dwell on it. Your agent doesn't call and say, "Well, you got it," or "You didn't get," like, you're just done with it. You move on, and then in the back of your mind you hope for the best. But that was quite a long journey of silence for you. So it's just cool to see that whole process and how it ended up for you, and it's just very exciting. I
want to commend you, Austin, because we hung out all weekend for the film festival. You didn't even mention Stranger Things like being like your favorite show or anything like that. You didn't bring it up at all.
Well, you can't talk about it, really.
No. Oh no. So for productions, especially big film and TV and whatnot, you'll have to sign NDAs before they'll go on the set. Stranger Things was so strict. Like you get daily sides whenever you're filming. And, you're supposed to know your lines, but they'll give you a little, daily sheets. So to reminders, for line things happen. So they gave it to us in the morning. As literally when we wrapped for that day, they go, "Okay, give me your sides." They took the sides back. You were not allowed to have them at all. These are legit. You cannot say anything to anything about it, or otherwise they'll drop you, like big time. Like, we know a few people that have done that, and they get dropped from something. It's not to play with, and it's hard not to talk about something as cool and as big as this, but you just kind of have to. But then as the months start getting closer, then you're just like, you get the itch. You're like, you really want to, because you're so excited. You're like, oh my God, this is going to be great. And then the fear comes in also, because you're like, well, did they cut me? No, I don't think they cut me. What happened? I don't. And then it happens.
You get cut on the editing room floor.
Yeah,
Then
like,
you have to
something,
play into that after you shoot.
Oh no, because you hear the nightmares and everything like that. But thankfully, woo, Ellen Miller made it, and the whole 9 yards. So it was interesting with it though. The character switched a little bit from when I first booked it. It was supposed to be a little bit of a bigger role. But then, as you can see in the first 4 episodes, they focus a lot more on the young kids being part of the main storyline, and I'm really there as a catalyst to have my name attached to Debbie Miller's character, because she has a much bigger role going on in the series itself. And Eden, who played my daughter, God, so talented, such a sweet kid, so nice. And then my wife, Megan Hayes, she's a veteran. Like, she's been in all sorts of amazing things. So like, I'm odd guy out. I'm like Mr. New Guy. So I'm just talking to them and just absorbing everything. And it was fantastic. Yeah.
That's
Very
awesome,
exciting.
man. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We just like feel the joy for you, because we're all in this together. We're all, kind of been on the scene working together for a while. So to have one of our people, get something of this scale, it's just exciting. You just want to, celebrate. So congratulations. And everyone is celebrating, because I'm sure you've had people come out of the woodwork. What's that been like after being a part of something so big? Is it just been nonstop? I know that you got a nice little was it a write-up in your hometown newspaper? I'm sure people are reaching out left and right. What's it been like post filming since we've been able to announce it?
Oh, I knew it was going to be big. I didn't realize how much it just exploded. It's so nice hearing from people back home, like people I grew up with and people I went to school with. Like past mayors and past superintendents from my town have contacted me and told me how proud they are. That's great. Then the news station did a story, and then the local newspaper did it, and then that got picked up by like most of the newspapers in the state of New York, besides New York, did different stories on me. And I did this radio station that I used to listen to as a kid. They interviewed me, which was really, really cool. So it's, having all this love. Oh, my college that I went to, MVCC, they did a shout out and write up to me, which was that's funny. It's so nice, and it's very humbling. I'm just as excited as they are about the whole thing. You know what I mean? As a fan, I love the 4 episodes. I'm dying for Christmas, so I'm right along with them. And the fact that most of the things I've done in the past is like, you'll get a good, hey, that's really great, and then they move on. People are now moving on. People are still, they want to know more. They want to, and that's the power of how incredible and big this series is. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm catching up with a lot of lost friends that we hadn't talked to in a long time. So that's really nice. Job offers are coming in a little bit easier, which is always a good thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, there's so the movie La La Land and everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was lucky to read something for that, the casting that's a part of that just director's group. So I can't say anything more, but that I got reached out directly, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
For the actors who are watching, can you share a little bit of what it's like from working on an indie set like we do here back in Central Florida, where you're also located with us, to a bigger production? This isn't your first, this is the biggest production, but it's not your first big production. You've done other stuff. You've done Bad Monkeys. You have other TV and network shows that you've been on. How does getting involved on an indie level help prepare you for that bigger role?
Well, I mean, being in front of the camera and being on set, it gives you some, expectations of what's going to happen. The breadth and scope of the series and everything involved, I just was not prepared for at all. But, you have to remember as an actor that your job is you're doing the character, know your lines, keep it easy for people behind the scenes and kind of go from there. When we were shooting the door scene, it's not in the final cut, but I'm supposed to pull the door back, and then I had a line when he goes, Alan Miller, I go, yes, I'm sorry, what was this about? It's about your daughter. I'm supposed to step back and turn, and that's how we reveal Debbie. But they couldn't figure out the door and everything like that. They're telling me which way, and I'm like, okay, hold on, let's do this. So I walked it so I could figure out the door for their blocking for their camera. You know what I mean? Which is extremely cool because they are adaptable and open to that. You know what I mean? That's an indie thing to do. So
just on the fly.
Just on the fly, because they're getting frustrated. So you're trying to be the solution to make it easier for them. So that's what's helped me, having the experience of being on set. And you have to be a lot more adaptable in the independent scene than more like this. That was nice. But I mean, they had everything planned out. They had things clockwork. They had equipment and people involved to make it as smooth running as possible. And they had these super like lights up and up in the sky that was for the moon. Like there's these huge lights. I mean, I watched them all day. I'm like, are these things following me, man? Because I don't know, but they're pretty crazy. So.
When you were in the moment, did you really just have to bring yourself so focused into like literally this small perimeter around you?
Yeah, because I wanted to fanboy out. I wanted to talk to everybody. I was talking to the extras. You've been in other ones. Oh, you're in this scene. Oh, that's so cool. You did. And then when Finn Wolfhard and God, I always forget the other kids' names. They had the scene right after me. They came on set. So, and they had done Fan Expo shows that I did at the same time. So I got to chat with them.
Very
Super
cool.
Nice kids. They liked I do comic books. So that was really cool. Then I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry. You're the superstars. I'm going to go back and sit in my chair. You guys go do what you got to do. I'm not going to blather anymore. Yeah. Oh, it's so hard not to fanboy out a moment's notice. But again, I say, okay, here for a job. Just focus on your words. Do your thing. And then I'll be good. But once you're on set, it's different. Like off set, I was like, let me go look over here. Oh, this is so neat. I had to like kind of I had to do this, But once I was on set, then it's go time. So.
Well, we have a lot more horror to talk about tonight, you guys, but we're going to take a quick little pivot here and talk about another show that you just promoted you were on. Let's get into this is a network show that you did?
Yeah, so it's another series called Grits, Girls from the South. Really, really fun shoot. It's slightly more of an independent thing. I would akin it to the same type of film shoot that Bad Monkey was on. And it's that's talking about longevity, things taking a long time. I auditioned for that in 2023 during the strike. And then literally, as soon as I got back from Stranger Things, I booked that out of the blue.
Oh, sheesh.
So it was one of those things where you booked it. I booked it on Tuesday. They needed me there on Thursday to shoot. And I didn't have to do a fitting. I gave my sizes and everything like that there. And so it's set in Memphis. It's all about the skating community back then. It was such a fun thing. It was a doctor role, which is like right in my wheelhouse. It was shot great. Everyone involved, the actors. There's the kid that I was opposite, Javon. He's been a lot of cool things like Atlanta and
That was a great show.
The what?
That was the great show.
Yeah, like Atlanta and a bunch of things as a kid. He was really cool to be with and just kind of talk to. And then talking with them about Stranger Things and just different stuff. Thomas Jones, he was a running back for like in the NFL for like 12 or 15 years. So he was one of the executive producers. He's also in it. So that was
Wow.
That was a lot of fun. And I was waiting for that to kind of come out too. So that's on AMC's streaming platform, All Black TV. So that was pretty cool.
Very cool. I love that. Where did you guys film, you said?
We filmed actually right in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah. They had it was a nursing school and also part of I'm trying to think what they told me. It was a nursing school, but it's not for nursing. It's more for specialty training.
Okay.
And beds and also, all sorts of stuff. It's postdoctorate training. That's what it was. So instead of going to the hospital, they do all the training, and then they do the clinicals over there to kind of go back and forth, which was nice. So yeah, it was a great setup, and it was a one-day shoot. Went in, got it done, and
Nice.
the footage looks amazing. The show's super fun, and yeah, it's just happy timing that it came out a week after the my episode of Stranger Things. It was like boom, boom. That's how it always happens.
Right.
Nothing, and then boom. We're just super stoked for you. It's just so fun to watch you take this next step. So congratulations on all of that. I know you've got more, but you're not just telling stories through acting. You're also telling stories as a comic artist. So let's talk a little bit about that. I know you have some projects coming up. I'm not sure what you want to talk about first. Where do you want to take it? I know we have the Zombies Were Humans too. Can we start there? Do we have a poster for that, Rick?
Yeah, we can start with that. Yeah, it's so this I have a horror series called Zombies Were Human too. It tells zombie stories before and how they became zombies by survivors. They're trying to calm each other down by picking on zombies, make up stories who they were, how long they lasted, and how they died in a funny, crazy, ironic way. I came up with that originally when The Walking Dead was first coming out. I did a show in Atlanta, and I met the first featured zombies of The Walking Dead. They were in the cover of the Entertainment Weekly when Rick was doing the gun thing. Yeah, I just met them, and I jokingly said it'd be cool if we knew who you were before you became zombies. And that was the idea that kind of sparked it.
Nice.
So we were gonna do stories on them, but they were like, no, contraction, we can't do that. So I put it aside, and then Facebook did that. Hey, 7 years ago, you posted this. I really wish we could have done something, and that's how it just started. But I did 3 graphic novels. One's called The Warehouse, one's called The Safety Room, and the third one's called The Church. It's about 3 kids that are up foraging. They get trapped in a warehouse, and then they make it over to the safe room, and then they make it to the church before they're able to get back to their group. And they make up stories of zombies. But for this series, I wanted to do it more as a collaboration. I've been doing comic books for, 32 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I've got a few of your comic books. Every time I see you, I'm like, hey, what's new? What can I get? And you're always so nice to sign them. And, we just love seeing your work. And
you don't just write them, you draw them too, right?
I used to. So I started as an artist inker. I worked for Marvel and a bunch of others over the years. And then I got more into writing as I got older. Couldn't draw quite as much. So for Zombies, I wrote the main storyline, created the whole thing. I approved all the zombie stories because they're written by different writers and they're done by different artists. The big collaborative thing, but it's one continuous storyline. That's what I wanted to do. Rod and Ricky did a few stories. Yeah, Joe Davidson's done a few stories. It's not just professional writers and artists. It's brand new people. It's people in other industries that always wanted to work in comic books that didn't, and that's the whole point of it. So we did these 3 graphic novels, and we did over 350 pages of artwork. We have over 50 covers.
Holy crap.
So I decided this year in 2026, we're going to come out with an art book. So the horrifying art of Zombies Were Human too. It's going to have all the covers that we've used so far by, professional artists, Bram Stoker, winter artists, the whole 9. And it's going to be, if I remember correctly, 72 pages. Yeah. And so we're going to put that out hopefully in the early part of 2026. And then people have been wanting new stories like you, Amy. So we have 2 new graphic novels coming out. And this is same basic formula, but we've got a group of survivors that split up. One goes towards the strip mall, one goes towards the hospital. So that's the 2 graphic novels. The first one's the strip mall, and the second one will be the hospital. And we have a lot of, returning writers who love the be able to write zombie stories and are coming back. And then in between these graphic novels, we're doing some exclusive comic books, ones that have done pretty much every single book. And we're going to do some just exclusive comics for the collectors with different covers and all that sort of thing. And that should be 2026 for zombies. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, with regards to that, one of the nice things, because I have added a couple of stories for you, but what was so cool that you do is you really make it a collaborative process. When you go out and you get your writers, then you pair them with a particular artist, and then I write the story and the artist does all the artwork. So I got to work with 2 different artists that had a very distinct style, and it was so cool that you do something like that to kind of those little pairings, those little collaborations. Really a lot of fun.
Well, what I try to do is for the writing style and the type of story that's going on, I want to pick the right kind of art that will be the best version or bring the best out of the story. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's a fun thing too. And funny enough, a lot of these writers have used these artists beyond what I've done, and they are collaborating on different stuff down the road, which is what I'm trying to do in the first place, is to try to make more connections and have the comic community as a whole grow. And it's pretty fun.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of zombies, Rick and Austin, you guys have a little history of zombies together.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Being some involvement with the Turning short film that we just won Best Horror Film at the Tampa Bay Underground Film Festival. You guys, thank you to T-Buff, by the way. If you guys are in the Central Florida area and get a chance to either go or submit a film to T-Buff, it's a great festival. It runs Thursday through Sunday. It's incredible networking. They put on a show. They make it all about the filmmakers, and they do a really, really good job, you guys. But if you guys don't mind talking a little bit how you collaborated those ideas together.
So Rick, I've known Rick before films and stuff like that. He was actually first film I ever was in, I think, was Rick's what was it called? The
Book of Nightmares.
Book of Nightmares. Yeah, I played it cool, which was super fun.
I've seen that, by the way.
So he had an idea for Dawn of the Dead, of the series itself. I came on as producer, and we did the pilot back in the day, and then we made a comic book for it, trying to get things up and going. And then pandemics happened, and then different things happened. So we kind of put it to the side. And then Rick did the Turning. And I was going to return playing the scientist in the very beginning, but I was on set and I wasn't able to do it. So it's a cool prequel to the actual series itself. But I think because the comic book did really well. Because we went to the Kickstarter, and a lot of people were really interested and liked the story. So we're going to try to see if we can get this back up and going in 2026. And see if we can do something, man.
Yeah, I mean, and the comic is a prequel story that I wrote and Austin did. And then The Turning is actually another prequel story to that series as well, because we mentioned the main bad guy, Silas Lovecraft, in The Turning, who's the main bad guy in the series. So we're hoping that between the comic and reissuing the comic and The Turning as well, that we can try to relight the fires and get that going. So that would be great.
Yeah, definitely would be great.
Yeah, especially with the success of Stranger Things, who ripped my story off. We're not going to get into that, you know.
I get a phone call at like 9:00 at night on a Saturday. Hey, Amy, I gotta tell you something. Stranger Things ripped me off. He's like sending me the synopsis, but there were a lot of similarities to it. It was very interesting.
Yeah, there are a lot of similarities, and at the end of the day, they didn't rip me off. You can't.
No, but it was fun to see the similarities, because
that's what makes me proud, is that maybe my ideas are pretty good, because this one turned into a cultural phenomenon.
Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah, we might have something that we can really build.
You've got some good ideas, just they're not out there yet. They're not out there yet.
Well, we had a lot of fun making The Turning. That was Rick and I's first project through Indie Horror Junkie that we produced together and co-directed together, and brought in people that we knew for a really strong cast and assembled a great crew. And we just had so much fun. We took a 3-day shoot and crammed it into a 2-day shoot and got it done. And we're happy to see, the success and the excitement behind it on the film festival circuit. So maybe there is more to it, you guys.
And we have that Walking Dead DNA with Lance Tefelsky being the star for The Turning. He was actually in The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he gave a pretty undeniable performance in that short. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, you can
Not
order
this
it.
Lance, a much better
Nightmare
looking
Collection
Lance.
Volume 3 at IndieHorrorJunkie.com and check it out. It is part of that anthology. But how do you think that comics for you differ from film as far as storytelling? What is your approach to writing and creating, comic stories versus writing and creating a script? Are you inspired differently? Do you just kind of sit down and not even know if it's going to be a script or, something that you're writing for a comic? How is that process for you?
So getting into comic books was because I didn't think I'd ever be able to work as an actor. When I graduated, I'm Mr. Heavy Metal guy. I'm not cutting my hair to go to theater or anything like that. And where I lived, there's a lot of comic professionals in the area that I looked up to and I was fans of. So I was able to show my work and get things up and going. So, the story ideas I came up with were movies in my head. And I thought the only way I could get any sort of visual or storytelling was in comic books. So even to this day, now that I'm working in film and writing scripts, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm visualizing everything in my head. And then I kind of go to write it. It's just the formatting is a little bit different. But I will say, it was interesting listening to at T-Buff this past weekend with the directors in the writing process. What I do is I think of an idea and I think of the ending and get that done. And I think of a main character and then a conflict that he has to overcome to get to the ending. That's basically it. That's what I do. And then I kind of go from there. And then I pick different genres that has a unique twist, not something out of the normal, or I'll mash things up. Like Dawn of the Dead was zombies and a slasher, short movie that we did a couple years ago that we're hopefully going to make into a feature. My Divine Retribution is a faith-based fantasy series about a guardian angel who breaks her one rule: direct contact with humans. And the series about the consequences of that, where it could possibly shift the balance between good and evil. I have a Christmas book called Sammy the Snowman that, deals with commercialism and the traditions of head on between the two, but underneath everything, it deals with the grief of losing their patriotic grandfather and how they're doing different ways to deal with that grief. So there's different things about it. But yeah, it's basically kind of writing the same way. I'll take scenes and break them all down the scenes for my script, and then I put them together and try to expand and make it fit. But I always start with the ending first. If I have the ending and I have a good character and I can figure out a good conflict that's interesting to get to a good ending, then I can kind of work my way around it and then kind of go from there.
Interesting. So a similar process for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That was my long answer. Yeah.
No, that's a great answer. I was just curious because every writer works so differently and they're inspired differently, and they write out of order, or it's not always in order. And I just like to ask that because it's interesting to hear.
Well, I've heard so many horror stories about people writing stuff. I don't know how to end it. I don't know how to end it. And I'm like, well, I'm never going to do that. So we're going to figure out the ending first.
We're just going to start at the ending.
Or just, what's the ending going to be? And if it's a really interesting ending, and, have a character try, why is that character going to get to the end? Is it going to be to help, or is it going to be to, for good or for bad, and then go from there? So, yeah. But I will say, since I've been doing it a long time, I used to write on paper forever before getting on the computer. I don't use Final Draft. It's one of those things, like, I know Rick and everyone else tells me it's really, really good. It's one of those, I need to just spend time and just do it. So for now, I write everything out by hand, and then I type it in and kind of go from there. Not the best way to do it, and maybe not the most professional, but for right now, for me, that's how it works.
I disagree. I think whatever process works. I was just talking with another up-and-coming filmmaker who wrote an incredible script and has a really great film that's making its way around the festivals and getting a lot of buzz. And I asked him what his process was. I'm like, what software do you use? And he's like, pen and paper. Like, that is my first full complete draft, is pen and paper. And then I might, then I'm going to put it into, a software. So it's not just you. I personally, I like to use Final Draft. That's where I start. But for other stuff, I'm old school. Like if we're having a meeting and I'm taking notes, I'm not on the computer. I'm pen and paper, writing in cursive, taking, notes. Or there's certain things that I have to have pen and paper. Everybody's different. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
As long as it works for you, that's what's important. Because I mean, obviously it's working for you. You've been doing this stuff for so long, and you're making good quality content. Keep at it.
Thank you.
Don't change it.
Is there a project you're just dying to make, Austin?
Besides Dawn of the Dead.
Is there just dying to make, like with, if you can see yourself over the next 5 years and if you could get what you want, do you have something like, you don't even have to get to details of what it is, but is there something that, like if I have the funding for this and I have the people that I want on board for it, do you have that vision for that particular project?
I know.
I do. It's a movie called Mama Bear. Ooh. And it's based on the 24 hours I spent trying to get to my mom before she died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I come from Florida. I go up to where it's super, super cold. So there's a lot of color palettes that are going to be involved. There's a lot of it's a single person sort of journey. You're dealing with the fact that he's also adopted. So there's that added layer. And then at the ending of the movie, it's all dark and bleak. And then when he's giving his eulogy, the sun comes through the pane glass windows and everything lights up and multicolor as he's saying goodbye. So yeah, it's this is true. So I'm on the plane switching in New York to go to Syracuse, and I'm sitting down, nice couple next to me. No one's sitting on the other side of me. It's a 2 and 3 seat. And my sister calls. She goes, "Hey, where are you?" I'm like, "What do you mean, where am I? I'm on the plane. Like I'm in New York. I'm ready to go to Syracuse." She goes, "Okay, well, she's waiting for you." I'm like, well, I can't make the plane go faster. I don't know what you want. She goes, "No, she's waiting for you. Like she's waiting to die." And I have my speaker on, and I turn over. And I turn over, and I see this couple like this, like ashen, and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll get there as soon as I can." Right by, click, and I turned to her and I said, "I am so sorry." And she grabbed my hand. She says, "No, honey, I'm so sorry." She held my hand the whole way on the plane. How crazy is that?
And we're going to be crying the last episode of the year.
I'm just saying. Anyway, so that would be the film.
I love that. You've already got my support on that. Let me know.
I had the same conversation with my cousin while my mom was hanging by a thread, and they told me, and I was in North Carolina driving, and they said the same thing. She's waiting on you. I'm like, well,
did you do that? Yeah.
And I got.
Oh, go ahead, Lance.
I was just gonna say I got from like Florida to Maryland in like 12 hours driving. I was hot footing it.
Yeah, when you got to get somewhere, you figure it out real quick.
Well, I was planning on I was supposed to fly and see her because she was supposed to leave a few times. Like she went in, she was flying to Croatia, and they're like, just get scanned just in case. And then she had to get stents put in, which turned into triple bypass. And every time they said that she was about ready to go, she had, she relaxed and she did worse. She got, her heart wasn't strong enough. She was ignoring heart disease for years, and she got worse and worse and finally passed away. So I was able to switch tickets and leave on the Friday to head up there. So, this is upstate New York. It's snow, winter, and cold, and just gross. And we're at the church, and I hadn't been to the church, and my dad died because there's all that, and Anyway, so horror, huh? How about that?
I didn't realize I knew you were from New York. I didn't realize you were from Syracuse. We just got to hang out in Syracuse and have a little bit of a weekend there, but I didn't realize I didn't know you were from there. That was my first time going.
Yeah, it's okay. So. I told this to the radio station, and I said, I will visit in the summertime. It is gorgeous for like a month and a half, and then like literally a switch turns on Labor Day and it starts getting cold, and then it's horrible to like about May, and then it warms up. Really, like I grew up
beautiful when we were there early September.
No.
Nice
yeah.
and cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's gorgeous. It lulls you into a false sense of this is a great place to live. I'm telling you, no, don't do it. Don't, because I mean, I grew up half the time I had snowsuits under my Halloween costume because it was going to sneak of snow on Halloween. Like legit. Like really. And you know, costumes back in the day, Amy, you're a little young. Costumes back in the day were hot to begin with. Yeah, let alone your snowsuit, you know. So, I mean, they're hardy people. They're super great. In the wintertime, basically, you ate, you drank, or you had sex. That's all you did. Unless you like to ski.
And there's good barbecue. I wasn't prepared for how good the barbecue was there. That dinosaur place. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. That was some of the best barbecue that I've had. I was really, really impressed. Everyone's like, you got to go to Dinosaur Barbecue. I'm like, all right, well, then let's go. And we went. I was like, oh, shit, this is really good.
There's great food there. It's great. It's a great place. If you love cold, go live there.
No.
If you're not a fan of it, just go for a visit, and then you can come back to where it's warmer.
I'm good. It was 73 today. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I love wearing shorts like 95% of the year. You know
what brought you down to Florida?
So we went down. My family lived in Orlando. My sister and then my aunt and uncle. And I was doing design work for the Observer Dispatch. And I was like, I guess I have to go back. And they're like, just move down. It's great. It's cold. It sucks up there. And I'm like, no, well, got 2 little kids. Can't really just up and move. And I went up there and we had like a $500 heating bill. And I'm like, well, enough of this. So I went and I got a job at Lockheed Martin to do battle simulations illustrated. And back in '98, I was getting paid $30 an hour.
Wow.
Like stupid money. Well, it's contract government money. It's not real because it comes from the taxpayers, But anyway, so yeah, I just moved down there and lived in Orlando for about 6 or so years, then moved to Tampa. And then I got a job as an art director for Verizon for a few years, and then I moved back to Tampa, and I've been here since 2006. Yeah. Love it.
We love having you.
I put you in your first film, and here you are now in Stranger Things and a big time movie star.
I know. Well, it's Ken Anthony's fault because he was all into comic books, and I was trying to mentor him a little bit on artwork and everything, and he was doing this film stuff. I'm like, how do you do this? You know what I mean? I don't understand. He's like, well, you just, you get in films, like Rick's doing the film. I'm like, what? So I asked Rick, I'm like, you're doing the film? He's like, yeah, we're doing the. Why, you want to be in it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, you could be cool. And I'm like, awesome. Okay. No idea what that is. So I go to the house. It's like 1 PM. I get airbrush painted my face. And I sat around for 9 hours. Just hanging out, because that's independent filmmaking. You wait and you wait, you wait. And then I did my 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the end of the day, and then that was it, we're wrapped. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, you can just wash it off at home. I'm like, okay. And we've all been in makeup and stuff like that, and like people think you're weird, and it's just whatever. So yeah, it man, super fun. And then Love, Hate, The Amazing Life of a Comic Book Artist was the first movie I ever wrote. I dug deep for that one. I had to really, and Austin McKinley and his wife directed and helped with the movie. And Austin is a comic book artist who I met like 8 years prior to that first movie. He was just getting started, and I kind of gave him some tips. And we had literally linked back up 3 months prior to this, where he had been working in film and I'm doing comic books. And he said, hey, if you ever need any help with stuff in the future, let me know. 3 months down the road, I said, hey, remember when you said you would help me if anything happened? I said, I'm making this film, wrote a script, no idea what I'm doing. You mind helping me out? He says, well, I'm working on this stuff. You mind helping me with some pages? And I said, done. And that's how it happened.
There you go. And we met on one of Rick's projects, the Halloween trilogy that you did, Rick.
Halloween Death Walks Among Us.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Didn't you have an arrow in your head or something like that?
No, that was Chris Plord.
Chris Plord.
Oh
Chris
God,
Plord.
that's right.
Yeah. But it was that night. That was about 2 years ago. I think.
It was. Yeah.
That's gone by. But
Yeah. We've got a couple of pictures here. You want me to bring them up and you kind of let us know what's
Yes.
going on?
Yes, please.
All right, let's see. We got this one here.
Oh, goodness.
T-Buff.
Yeah, so this is 2025 T-Buff. I love this festival. Like Amy was saying, they are 100% for independent filmmakers. They love independent films. They love independent filmmakers. That is their jam. They're independent filmmakers. They could not find festivals for their films, so they made their own festival until everyone wanted to screw off.
That's one way to do it.
Honestly. So yeah, this is me just this past weekend. This was my 9th T-Buff, which was great. And they were nice. They said some things about Stranger Things. I was able to give out some awards, and so that was pretty cool.
it was
Awesome.
fun.
Speaking of Stranger Things, there we go.
Oh, there's me. Yeah. So this headshot, I get all my headshots done by Kelly Paxton. She's a photographer who lived in Florida. Now she's in Atlanta. She's one of the best, I think.
I
headshot.
love Kelly. Fun fact, you guys, not to interrupt Austin. Kelly did the photography for the photo of issue number 3 that I was on the cover of for the Indie Horror Junkie magazine.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she's so good, and she's
Really
so much in demand. So any actors in the Atlanta area that are looking for new headshots, she's affordable. She works with you, and she's fantastic.
And if you're in the Tampa area, follow Kelly Paxton Photography because she occasionally comes back to the area for like a weekend and you can book her. She'll let you know, like, hey, I'm going to be in town. Who wants to get headshots?
Mm-hmm. I love this poster. The whole thing about it's super cool. When it first came out, I was like, oh, that's a great poster. I need to. I can't. So I just went and I'm like, Stranger Things is coming on 3 months. This is amazing. That's the best I could have done for the time.
All right, then we got. Who's this guy with the mustache?
Miller with the mustache.
Mm-hmm.
That shirt was so hot. Oh my God.
It looks hot. It's like a thick velour.
I can still feel the heat just being trapped inside of it. It's really like this velvet thing. Like literally all the dads wore like an 82 to 85. Like that was like the thing.
So I say my dad had one, probably the same color.
Yeah. No, it's like water resistant. You pour things on, it just rolls off. So
Nice. Let's see. We also got this here.
yeah, and there's Megan Hayes. She was so good.
Look at you guys.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, a good friend of ours, Rob Coggin, took these photos. He's a filmmaker in his own right. Good dude. Awesome drummer.
Yeah, I sat next to him, or not next to him, but on the same row there with him over at T-Buff.
Yeah, he's making his own music now, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Very cool.
it was cool because
What else you got, Austin? There's so much going on. You have a couple more things coming up that you wanted to plug, didn't you?
oh yeah, so I was very lucky, and like I said earlier, trying to get lead roles. That was my goal for this year. And I booked a series regular on this kid TV series called Grayson the Ivy Genie. It is about this kid Grayson who visits his grandparents' house and stumbles into this Ivy Genie who grants 3 wishes. So him and his friends meet the Ivy Genie, meet the tree house, meet the magical sprites of the land itself. And I play character Hud, one of the 2 bad guys of the town, but the really mastermind of the badness is Don Swayze, who's Patrick Swayze's brother, which is such a nice guy. But this is so much fun. The character is like the Home Alone characters. It's very goofy. There are different, like, I was eating like pickles and like an onion sandwich and grossness and just, it's so much fun. It's perfectly for kids. So we shot the first leg up in near Birmingham, Alabama last month. We're shooting the second leg in January. Kevin Wayne wrote a little picture book, Grayson the Ivy Genie, and now he's doing the series. He's a director, but he's also an actor. Like his most latest thing, he was in Tulsa King. His episode came out a couple weeks ago, but he's been in lots of other TV shows and films over the years too. So him and his whole group are so professional. Like they're independent, but they're like, you know, they're right up there. I can pretty much like how it was on Bad Monkey. That's how well they run and what they do and how they're going about doing it. It's just fantastic. Alabama is super pretty, and I'm looking forward to coming back in January and finishing it up.
And Bad Monkey was the one with Vince Vaughn, right?
The what?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a fun show.
Oh yeah.
Will you have more scenes with Don Swayze? Because it trips me out how much he looks like Patrick Swayze.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I've got 2 more episodes with him. Oh yeah. Yeah, so we shot 4 episodes.
In a sense, how similar that they look when you're working with him, because he's got.
Well, you know, I'm trying to be cool, and he likes to talk about his brother. I kind of let him do his thing. I did say it. I'm like, it's so interesting how. I mean, I know you guys related, but you know, you guys do look really, really similar. Again, I wouldn't think. I think you're more twins than brothers. He was very nice on that. But yeah, we shot 4 episodes. We got pickup for night scenes, and then we're doing the last 2 episodes. So there are 6 episodes total, and then let's put it this way: when you're an actor, you try to find roles that you can really put 100% in, and just be able to really not only do your character, but you can just completely let yourself go and just take chances and do whatever. That's what Kevin's letting us do. He's allowing me to go full on HUD, not the smartest person. He's not really a bad guy. He just loves his brother, and he's doing whatever his brother wants him to do. And he's trying to make him happy, even though he does some bad things. And it's just super goofy. And it's just, he's all about food. He's always complaining that he's hungry. And, yeah, it's just super fun, and they're loving what we're doing. So hopefully if we get, when they get distribution, they want to do a lot more, not only with Genie, but also with our characters as a spinoff. They're very talking.
Oh, very cool.
I love that. Do you feel like that you have that range of freedom because it is indie in a sense? Do you feel like because there's not certain, you know, rules from, you know, maybe a studio being behind it that they allow that?
Yeah, to a point. I will say Kevin knows exactly what he's looking for and how he's shooting. He knows exactly what he wants. He doesn't do lots of takes. You know, we're actually able to get most things done in 1 or 2 takes. You know, so we're in a good rhythm with the kids. Even them, you know, it's like herding cats. But between 5 or 6 takes, they get things done. And but yeah, he's professional. His crew is super professional. They're shooting. You know, we got 2 Reds, and we have Aria that we can shoot on. So yeah, he's invested in the equipment to make sure everything looks. And as far as looking, the shots look just as good, if not better, than some TV shows.
I don't doubt it. When you got the right equipment and the right crew and director and cast, it all just kind of aligns. If you got that vision, it sounds like he does. He knows what he wants, and he moves quickly and gets it done.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Very cool. We have just about 2 minutes left. If there's anything else you want to plug, or where can we find you on social so we can keep up with Austin Janowsky?
So for those that are just basically curious, just Google my name. Why?
Google me, bitch.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of new stuff with all the Stranger Things, you know.
True.
But like Facebook and Instagram is just Austin Janowsky, my name. You can find some things on YouTube. I should do better on my page, but I don't.
You do quite a bit of marketing for yourself. You do a good job.
IMDb, if you want to look at some last credits and everything like that. So yeah, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, and everyone. Just, you know, it's been a tough year for everyone in some form or fashion. Hug your family, give them hugs and kisses. Please tell them that you love them, and talk to people you haven't talked to in a while, because they might be having a harder time than you. And just wake up in the morning, just thank God that you're awake, because there's some people that aren't. So,
amen to that.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
And that's how we're closing out the year, you guys. I got nothing to say better than that. So thank you guys for joining the Junkies, Lunatic Lance, Austin, Rick, as always. Austin, hang out backstage real quick. We're going to say goodbye to you after the show. But like I said, that wraps it up for me. You got nothing left, Rick, other than follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe. head over and check out Austin on his socials. Keep up with the Junkies at Indie Horror Junkie. If you need to message us, indiehorrorjunkie@gmail.com. If not, enjoy the rest of December, and we'll see you in January.
See you guys, everybody.